And we're back here on Inside the Ropes, and I'm joined by the one and only Sonya Deville. Sonya, how are you today?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk to you. You've got a really interesting career so far in WWE, and you were on Tough Enough in 2015. And what's kind of fascinating to me about that show was that the two winners are no longer to be seen. But we've got you, and we've got Mandy, we've got Velveteen Dream, and you guys are all kind of tearing up where you guys are. What was your mindset when Tough Enough was finished and it didn't quite go the way you wanted it to kind of keep going and envision like what you've got now?
Yeah. Once I got on to Tough Enough, I fell in love with the WWE. Like, I knew right away, and I called my mom and I told her, I said, this is what I want to do. I knew that professional wrestling was where my heart was, and WWE. So when I got eliminated, first I was shocked. Second of all, I was so upset. I remember just crying in my hotel room the night I got eliminated, and telling my mom on the phone, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get in the WWE, because I fell in love with it. I came from MMA and I also did some acting, and WWE is literally the combination of those two things. It's sports and it's entertainment. So I felt like it was where I'm meant to be. So literally the day I got home from Tough Enough, the next day I started training with Brian Kendrick. Every single day I worked my ass off, and I would just hound Canyon Seaman, the person who does most of the hiring for WWE. When can I get another tryout? When can I come back? And he's like, don't worry, we're going to sign you. Like, they had known, I guess, since the end of Tough Enough that they wanted to sign me, but I didn't believe them. I was like, they're gonna lie to me, and I'm going to have to go back to bartending for the rest of my life, which I loved bartending, but I had fallen in love with wrestling, and I wanted to do that now. And eventually a couple months went by, and they were like, come out for another tryout. And so I did that, and the rest is kind of history. Here I am now, so.
Well, it's also interesting because when you were in NXT and you had the kind of hair up and square up thing, and you've got the kind of MMA gimmick, like you have that, and people were really kind of respond to it. But then you've got Ronda Rousey comes in, Shayna Baszler comes in. So it kind of, how did you kind of navigate that of like you've got to try and in your own way kind of try and get your character over while these other women are doing similar kind of characters?
Yeah, MMA doesn't define Sonya Deville. It's definitely a part of her, and obviously it's where she started and where she came from. But she has so much more depth than that, and you see that now even in her ring gear. I mean, Sonya doesn't wear the MMA Muay Thai influenced skirt anymore. She wears ripped jeans and combat boots because that's what I wear, and that's my vibe. So there's a lot more to her, and there's so much that there's to come from Sonya. You guys have just seen like a glimpse of it, so I'm super excited to share that with you guys in the future. And then you and Mandy got together on the main roster, and you're with Paige in Absolution. How was that for you to be kind of, we don't often get to see women come up and get in factions and getting these kind of hot brawls and stuff. It was a hot angle, people were really excited about it. How cool was that for you? Can you take us through that experience? Yeah, debuting and being a part of Absolution was probably one of the highlights of my career. It was so exciting. People were so excited to see Paige, and then here are these two NXT girls that I don't think anyone predicted were coming up that soon, and we're out here kind of being Paige's muscle. It was a super cool angle. I loved being a part of it. It unfortunately was short-lived, but Paige is still around, giving us great advice, and being in our locker room is super cool. And it just took us in a different direction, and life's all about timing.
And you were also part of the first Women's Royal Rumble back in 2018. How was that to be a part of? Because like most of us growing up watching Royal Rumbles, there wasn't a Women's Royal Rumble, and you get to be there for that first one. How important was that to you?
It was super cool, because Mandy and I have been a part of a lot of firsts. We were first ever Women's Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania Battle Royal, all women's pay-per-view. So it's been super exciting to kind of be here in the peak of the women's evolution and to be a part of it and to hopefully contribute to that.
And I feel like you guys, you and Mandy kind of, as Fire and Desire, at Elimination Chamber, you kind of shut a lot of people up. There was such a good performance. And I remember watching it at like a friend's house in the UK. It's like 3 a.m. And like everybody was super into that match. How important was that for you to have that kind of standout match for you guys to be like, here's what we can do? The
Elimination Chamber match we had in Vegas was probably one of the highlights of my career so far. It, like you said, it was a turning point in Mandy and I's career where we kind of showed everyone like, hey, we can wrestle too. And I think we've been increasing that support and that sentiment ever since. And I think more and more people now are watching us going, they can really work. And that's important to us because, we have our chemistry, we have our bond, and that comes natural to the fans, but we can work in the ring, and we want to show that. And we've shown that a little bit, but we still have so much more left to show you guys, and we're excited to do so.